Hey, this is Cynthia, and you are listening to I Like to Tell You. Today, I'd like to tell you that if you are a multi potentialite, I've got great news for you. Yes, finally, I have cracked the code. As someone who is also a multi hyphenate, multi passionate, multi potentialite, and all the interesting names were called. I have finally cracked it on how to live out your dreams as a multi-potentialite. So I realized that for most people, that is, people who are not multi-potentialites like us, they are like a tree with branches. They have many branches flowing out of them, but all from one source. But for us, multi-potentialites, we are like rivers, a large river with tributaries. Now, for those who might not know, a tributary is a small body of water that flows into a larger river. So there could be streams, there could be smaller rivers, but they all converge at a larger river. And the thing about tributaries is they might not have the same ecosystem as the river that they are emptying themselves into. Now, what does this mean? It means that there are so many things that flow out of us as multi-potentialites. We have various interests, we have various passions, there are many things we want to do. In fact, we want to do it all. We are creatives at the same time. We want to write, we want to sing, we want to teach. There are so many things that we want to do, and that's exactly why I used the river with tributaries description for us, because that's exactly what fits us perfectly. So this can be very confusing for the average person who has this kind of desire and feelings. What then can we do? The first thing you have to do is to not embrace that multi-potential aspect of you yet. You need to become a one-passion person. That person who can stay on one thing without being distracted, and you have to wear the identity of a mono-potentialite, if that makes sense. Now, I know what you might be asking. Why should you wear only one hat when you know you're wired to wear many hats? Well, the reason is simple. For all your many interests and passions, if you can sit down and really think about it, you find that there is a connecting force behind it. There's something that you can use to define everything. There's always one thing you are trying to do that is leading you to express yourself in many ways as you are. For me, I love to provide solutions. So it comes in form of creating content where I'm providing solutions or giving people advice that will always be beneficial to them. It also comes in form of my work where I'm always on the lookout for solutions. It shows up as a data analyst. I'm looking at the numbers, trying to make sense of the numbers so that I can give very good recommendations that will help the business grow. At the end of the day, everything that I want to do revolves around providing solutions. So you need to give yours a name like that. Then when you're able to give it a name, you start at one point. For me now, I'm focusing on data analysis. Then of course, content creation. And out of these things, many other things will flow. And the reason for this is simple. It helps me focus on one thing at a time. Once I'm very good as a data analyst, I can begin to wear as many hats as I want to. So you want to look for your own rallying points. That's one thing that you can hold on to at the moment and run with. It is very important. You grab one thing, focus on it, get good at it. As a multi-potentialite, contrary to popular opinions, you cannot afford to half-ass anything. You might have multiple interests, but you can't afford to be mediocre at any of them. When you can do it to the point where it's like second nature to you, where it has become monotonous and boring because you are just good at it, from there you can start bringing forth other things. You can go independent, you can start your own business, open your own agency, do your own thing, or affiliate with somebody or an organization. But start with one thing, get focused, get good at it, and then out of it, you start pouring out and showing forth your other sides. If you don't do this, you are going to continue to be seen as unserious. You keep hopping from one thing to another, and you will never ever be able to make sense to anybody. I'm not saying you should try to make sense to anyone, but the worst part is you won't even be able to make sense to yourself. You're going to keep hopping from place to place, from thing to thing, and you never ever feel like you're making progress. So pick one thing now, one thing that can give you some money, because you do need money while you're chasing your many passions. So look for that one thing that will give you money, and from there start funding other things. Another thing that I feel like would be very useful advice for the potentialite is speed of execution. You have many ideas as someone who is multi-passionate. You cannot afford to not be an executor. You must be able to close that gap between ideation and execution in record time, as quickly as possible. Start executing whatever it is you're learning, whatever it is you're doing. Do this in just 6 months and come back and thank me. Tell me how beautiful life has been for you. Alright guys, I hope this has blessed you. Till next time, stay refreshed.